So question 112 from this book. So this is the question 112. There are some food items given and the energy content per kilogram of that food item is also given. Interestingly, the way they find this out, that is something that we do in class 10 in physics. So they say that in wheat there are 3.2 joules of energy per kilogram, no? That seems actually a little less, but anyway, what we do is then we
What
take,
is joules?
I'll tell you,
What is
it's a unit of energy named after James Joule. He was a physicist who did some experiments to find out what is the heat equivalent of energy. Anyway, that's not a very, you can look him up. His name is James Joule. Okay, Google this and you'll get some information about joules. But what they basically do is they take a grain of, let's say, wheat, okay, and they kind of like mostly what they do is they poke a pin into it so that it's held by the pin, and then they set fire to it. So you heat it in a Bunsen burner or something like that till it catches fire. Okay, so the thing is burning, and then using that burning wheat, you heat a small quantity of water in a container and you try to find out what is the temperature rise that happens. Okay, and that is how you find out for one sort of grain of wheat how much the temperature of the water will go up, and from that you can find out how much energy this thing has. So they do the experiments like that. They basically can, not that every time they do it like that, because for something like potatoes and milk you obviously can't do that, but this is how in general they find out how much energy the food item can give. So that is just, I'm sharing some information about it so that you understand the context. So it says that wheat can provide you 3.2 joules per kilogram. Uh, the symbol joule for energy can be abbreviated to capital J. Okay, rice provides 5.3 joules. Potatoes, when they are cooked, provides 3.7 joules, and milk can provide 3 joules. So the question now is which food provides the least energy and which provides the maximum? That's easy. You just have to compare it and you can see that rice provides the maximum and milk provides the minimum among these four items. Okay. Don't they make that a reason to challenge your parents or your house parents when they ask you to drink milk? We don't drink milk just for energy. There are certain other things like calcium and so on that also comes from these products. So we eat these things for different reasons, not just simply for the energy part of it. So then the next part is the one that is difficult. Express the least energy as a fraction of the maximum energy. So the process is very simple. You find the total. Okay. So 7 plus 3, 10 plus 2 is 12, and 5, okay, 3 plus 3 plus 3 will be 9, plus 1 is 10, and 5 is 15. So 15.2 joules is the total energy provided by all of those items. Now we have to find out the ratio of milk and rice to this total, because that is the ones we are interested in. Okay, we can find out for others also, but they have not asked us about the others, so we don't have to bother about that. So how do we do this? Let's find out first for milk, which is the minimum. Milk's energy content is 3 joules out of a total of 15.2 joules. Okay, so if you want to convert this into a fraction, because basically we want to see what it will be when it is in fractional form, so we can write it as 30 divided by 152. I hope you know how we got to that. basically I want to get rid of the decimal value both in the numerator and denominator. So I can, sorry, I can multiply it by a factor of 10, both the numerator and the denominator. So that's how I get 30 and 152. So the same process I can repeat for rice. I think I'll write it here. Rice gives 5.3 joules, and that I divided by the total 15.2 joules. I'm just going to separate it like that. So I get, you multiply again both the numerator and the denominator by 10 to get rid of the single decimal value. So I get 53 by 152. Okay, now you can, if you want, you can reduce this, but one clue is that this number 53, I suspect it's a prime. Am I correct? It looks like a prime number to me. Is 53 a prime? Can somebody just check the sieve of Eratosthenes and tell me?
Yes, it's a prime, sir.
It's a prime. So then there is no point in reducing this. I can reduce this number because both numbers will be divisible by 2 for certain. 7, 8, yeah, divisible by 2. But I don't want to do that. So now comes the important part. I have converted both of these into fractions. So here is the fraction for rice, which gives the maximum energy, and here is the fraction for milk, which gives the minimum energy. Now what they have asked us to do is they have asked us to compare the two. Okay, and how they have asked us to do that is they say express the least energy as a fraction of the maximum energy. So they say least by max, and I have not used least, I have used min, so I'll write min by max. I just want to do that. Okay, min upon max. What is the fraction? So the fraction for the minimum is milk, right? So I write it as 30 by 152. Okay, and that divided by the fraction for the max, which is 53 by 152. Okay, that is how I represent the ratio between the fractions itself for min and max. And do you know how this is manipulated? Have you seen anything like this before in class 5, dividing one fraction by another fraction? Ardit is vigorously shaking his head, so he has not seen anything like this before. Okay, that may, okay, some of you may be familiar, some of you may not be familiar. I'll just tell you what to do. You tell me if you don't understand it properly. Okay, then I can deal with it. So what basically I am doing is I am dividing, I can also write it like this, 30 by 152 divided by 53 by 152.
The reciprocal.
Now some of you are remembering what you have to do. But do you know why? Yeah. So this can then be written as, at least the method that you use to solve this is, you can write 30 by 152.
So reciprocal, then we can multiply.
152 into 30.
Yeah, but does anybody know why? This is correct, okay. And some of you remembered it now, but do you remember why? Okay, we'll discuss that later. Okay, so then what happens is, because
we cut, so
yeah,
like
152 and 152 can divide into 1, right? So 152 times 1 is 152. So those.
So then 3.
What do you?
3 tens are and.
No.
So I think 50. Oh no, 53 is prime. Yeah, I forgot.
That is why it was important.
53 is prime.
53 is a prime. So you can write the ratio as 30 by 53, which is the ratio of the minimum by the ratio of the maximum. Do you recognize this? See, 30, 53. So this is your final answer. So this is the answer to the question. Represent the minimum as a ratio of the maximum. It's as simple as that. The steps are little confusing, but actually if you think about it, you need to represent this as a fraction of that. So it's just 30 divided by 53. You can write the answer if you understood what you're doing, you could have written the answer straight away over here. 30 by 53, min by max. But if you want to know why, then you have to go through this process. Okay. So this actually then tells us that for 111 also, if you remember, the ratios that we got, I was telling you, right, when I found out the ratios, I was telling you, I don't understand why they are asking us to write the comparative ratios of this to that and that to this. But really what they are asking us to do is compare the ratios of whatever it was, CNG to diesel, diesel to petrol. All you have to do is look at their ratios and then show it as ratios of each other. That's it. Okay, why are we able to do that? Is because the denominators are the same. That is the importance of converting it to the same denominator, the ratio of an individual to the total. And then once you do that for everything, then you can find out the ratio of one individual to another individual piece of information. Okay, so that is the way in which you solve this.